transport allowance around, and a lot of things like that. And of course, when you even get advert paid for immediately, the adverts get paid months after. Depend on a lot of people. You need to cultivate people and make sure that at least you have the goodwill. Goodwill is very, very important. It's more than having money in the bank. It's something that if you have a problem, you can pick up your phone and call up 1 or 2 or 3 people, and they'll say, okay, don't worry, I would help you out, and you get helped out, and you begin to wonder how or why people believe in you. I guess it's also because of the fact that one has built, a followership over time, and also friends that are very valuable that will come in and help.
Great, amazing. So what is fun and rewarding about what you do?
Sorry?
What is fun and rewarding about what you do?
Oh, the fact that I'm doing what I've always liked to do, I've always loved to do. How do I put it now? I love writing, I love reading, I love writing about people, I love celebrating people, and these are things that come to me naturally. So for me, it's not, like I said, I don't believe what I'm doing is work. I don't see it as work. I see it as a hobby that became business and all of that. Because even before City People came on board, I've been writing for different magazines. I've been, even when I wasn't employed by some of the media houses, I was freelancing for them and I was getting paid. And of course, I had written for so many papers, and I was enjoying it because I used to write opinion articles. I would do feature articles for daily papers, and I mean, for the some of them paid, some of them didn't pay, and also for me, it wasn't about the pay, like I said. And eventually, I realized that all of that was preparatory to City People coming on board. So by the time City People came on board, I was able to do the job of 2, 3, 4 people because I've been used to that kind of lifestyle. So that is it. You need passion. It's passion that will keep you going. And everybody who wants to do one business or another must be passionate about what they do. And hard work also pays. You need to be hardworking to get by.
What's your biggest achievement so far?
The biggest achievement as, you mean as a publisher of people?
Yes.
Oh, yes. The fact that we've been able to keep the product alive is for me, it's more than an achievement, because it is not easy to keep any brand. I'm not even talking of media now, any brand. That's why if you look around, you see so many brands that are falling by the roadside. Not because the owners or the managers want it to go that way, but it's because of the challenges of the macroeconomic environment, inflation, recession, all sorts of challenges. And of course, the biggest one was when social media came on board, and of course, it affected the print media. But even at that, we went back to the drawing board. We will not allow social media to defeat this product, and we came up with new ideas and very creative ideas, and we engineered the product, and we're doing the two now. We're playing in the social media space, and we're also still sustaining the print.
Great. So what would you advise anyone who wants to start up a business? What are the tips you give to someone, tips in order to sustain a business?
That is tough. Why I say it's tough is that we just came out of the COVID-19 experience, and that's changed the whole concept of tips on how to run a good business. And because, of course, before you had those tips that were there, but COVID-19 changed all of that, and of course made sure that a new template has come out, in which case you have to think of how to give people what they want. Let me give you an instance. During the COVID-19 lockdown and easing of the tension and all of that, a lot of people went into food business because food sold. I mean, people went into big time food business, agri business and food business, and they succeeded because there was a demand for that. So people should learn the lesson that any business you want to do, you're not doing the business for yourself. You're doing the business because you want to create, you want to satisfy a need. You want to provide a service. You must identify what people need and you give it to them. That has always been the tip, the biggest tip that you have, you need to know as an entrepreneur. Because if you don't identify a need and you provide a solution to easing that need, you just find out that what you want to do is just to satisfy yourself. At the end of the day, you're not the one that will buy the product. People will buy the product on the street, and it's a mass audience and all that. So at the end of the day, you need to identify what people really need. If what people need is water, then if you offer them water and all of that, you'll find, you have a niche for yourself. If what people need is a means of information and you think you can provide that better, of course, instantly you will hit. I mean, you'll make it. It becomes successful. But the mistake people often make is that people go into business for other reasons other than the real reason for business. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that Mr. A sees Mr. B doing a business and Mr. B is making money. And he thinks, oh, let me also join and go and make money. One, he doesn't have passion for what Mr. B is doing. Two, he doesn't know the strategy that Mr. B has in mind or had in mind at the time he started off. All he has seen is the final product. And he feels, oh, if I set up another city people, yes, maybe it will sell. So, of course, he goes into setting up a rival paper to compete with city people and now realizes that, oh, this thing is actually tougher than what I think. What I've been saying has been like the final product and not what goes into it. And by the time he or she understands what goes into it, you find that the person will lose steam and lose. So I would say the biggest tip is try and offer service or offer a service in any business that you come up with. There must be something you're trying to offer. And that service is what the end user would pay for. And once you do that, you can't go wrong with it. And you must have a passion. If you don't have the passion at the beginning, you must create that passion so that when things are hard, you would still not take it as life being hard. You just take it as a process, as something you need to go through to get to the promised land as it is.
Great, great, great. We're almost coming to the end of this session. Can you recommend some books that you read? You know, some books that have added value to you and to your business.
There's so many. There's so many. I'm a bookworm. I read, buy books a lot. I read a lot. I consume anything that has to do with. Of course, when I started business 24 years ago, I changed my interests from autobiographies and biographies and history books to management books. So I read a lot because I have not had the opportunity of going for courses as I should. So what I do is I look for books that are relevant. I look for books that come out on management, and I read and read and read, and that makes the difference. Then, of course, at the start of City People, I went for some courses at the Lagos Business School. I went about 3 or 4 courses, and that prepared me for City People because I wasn't too good in the business side, and I had to learn 1 or 2 things. So I went for all those short courses, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks at Lagos Business School on accounting, business, strategy, all of those topics I had. And of course, from there, I got a list of the relevant books that I need to read. And of course, I started buying. And of course, I buy books a lot. Once I go to any bookshop, I go to the management section and I look at the new books and I pick up. So there's so many books, so many that I can't even what do you call it now? Remember. But of course, the current one I'm reading now is 100 Business Tools for Success. all the management models that matter in 500 words or less. I mean, I do a lot of those books, and all the key authors in management, I read them. The Maxwell series, so many of them like that. I encourage anybody who's doing business to keep reading, because you have to update your knowledge of business. You have to update what you know of business. Because, like a friend of mine did say, all of us went to school several years ago, and most of the things we learned in school at that time, they've all become obsolete. So you have to update yourself. You have to know what is the current game. I mean, what kind of game are you playing now? And of course, what are the rules of the game? And the only way you can get that done is either you go for courses or you buy books, you update yourself and all that. There's so many books, so many. I mean, if I guess it's something that, and of course, the good thing about it is that in this day and age, most of those books are sold in traffic in Lagos. So when I'm driving and I see some of those books, I call the sellers and I look at the titles and I relate it to my business, to my area, and I get updated, and that's how I do it. Then of course I buy CDs of teachings by some of the management gurus and all that. So that's what I do.
Great, great, amazing. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank
and
you.
I must commend you too.
Thank you.
For keeping your passion for what you do alive, because I know you've been at it for a long time, and it's also become successful at it.
Thank you so much, sir. So yes, we're wishing you many more years of greatness ahead, and more growth for City People magazine as well.
Thank you very much.
So much. Someone has a question. Someone says, Wale says, was Fame magazine in the 90s one of yours before City People?
Oh, yes. Fame was already in business before we came in. We came in after Fame. I just saw a vacuum to be filled, and I came in at that time, and everybody was like, what kind of thing is this? There's already Fame. We had so many soft sell magazines at that time existing, but I still saw a niche in that sector, and I went into it. We provided the what's missing, and of course that's how we've been able to that was how we were able to get into the market and then stay in there and all that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.
You too. Bye.